So once the tests have been completed, we're going to go back into the UTE Manager and reload the test. So once we're inside the manager, we're going to want to click on the folder at the top and open the test back up in the UTE Manager. And what it will do is it'll gather all the information from the UTE runner, from the tests that were run, and load them into the UTE Manager for sort of analyzing and reporting. So instead of opening the test that we just created as a sample test, I'm going to open a real test that we ran for a government agency and show you some real test results so you can get a better understanding of how of UTE's reporting capabilities. Now you'll see here in the top right corner it says 0 results loaded. Now watch how that changes when I actually open this test. It's going to load the data, and now it'll say 15 results loaded. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to go to the Report Settings tab, and we want to tell UTE exactly what information we want included in the test report. So the first thing it asks for is participants. Which participants do you want to include? So it says the list to the right shows all participants for whom results are ready to be reported. Those participants with the include column checked will be included in all reports generated. To exclude one or more participants' results, uncheck the include column for the desired participant. So this basically allows you to include or not include participants in your test reports. Same thing with scenarios. Clicking on the scenario tabs, it gives you a list of, for this particular test there were 15 participants and 30 scenarios. So under scenarios it'll list all 30 scenarios, and for whatever reason, if there was a bad scenario that you do not want to include in your test report, you can uncheck the box next to the scenario and it will not be included. And then the last tab is the completion. Now this lists each of the participants and then a checkbox or a plus sign by their name. By clicking on that, it'll open up every scenario and it'll allow you to override the correctness or incorrectness of their answer. It gives you the options of scoring this yourself: correct, incorrect, skip, timeout, deviate, or no data. Now, when you use closed-end questions like multiple choice or true false, UTE can help to score the test by generating reports telling whether or not the participants got the scenario answer correct. However, if you use open-ended questions, you will need to it's up to the tester to determine whether or not the participant was correct. This just gives you some options to override the score that a participant received on a particular scenario. So now that we're finished with the report settings, we can move down into the test reports. Now we have listed, included 12 test reports that will be included with UTE 3, and this is going to change as soon as we come up with new reports. We will be adding them to each new release and new version of UTE. The ones we have included as of right now are a test plan report, basic participant statistics, the standard test report, which is the most common report, a demographic survey response graph, demographic survey participant response, scenario response report, scenario completion report, scenario time report, scenario page count report, participant comments, first click report group by link, and then navigation path report. So let's take a look at the standard test report. Now the standard test report is written in prose text, and it'll basically take you through the introduction, participants, testing apparatus and environment, information that you included in the test plan. Then it goes on to list each of the 30 scenarios and a brief description. Then it moves on to usability metrics. It says both quantitative and qualitative information was collected during the usability testing. This information will be used to determine a series of findings and recommendations. So it'll give you successful completion data of the 400, for example, of the 450 tasks that could have been completed successfully. Participants completed 321, or 71.33%. So this is the a pie graph for the overall performance on scenario. And figure 2 is the percent correct by scenario. The time to complete, number of viewed pages, and then a graph. And then we included the SUSE satisfactory survey in this particular test, so these scores are included in this report as well. Now, UTE 3 contains its own unique reporting mechanism, which allows you to export reports in doc, XLS, PDF, and many other formats, HTML, MHT, RTF, CSV, which gives you options to many options in exporting your data into different formats. So that's the standard report. And as I mentioned before, we are going to, as we get feedback from our users, we're going to create new reports, include them in later releases. We also have the ability to create custom reports. For an additional fee, we can gather information from your tests and generate custom reports for you as well. This webinar has been a general overview of the UTE version 3 user interface. I showed you how to design a usability test with UTE, beginning with creating a test plan, then developing a test, and then analyzing and reporting. And I've also shown you how the UTE Manager and UTE Runner interact with each other. To learn more about UTE, go to www.utetool.com. There you will find more information. We have taken each step and we have broken it down and created more detailed videos. If you have any questions, you can reach us at 801-782-5544, or you can email us at uteinfo@mindd.com. Thanks for viewing this UTE version 3 webinar.